Good morning, this is Craig Lane with Health Alchemy YouTube channel doing our herb tidbits for the day. Health Alchemy is health and alkemy.com, and there'll be links in the description. The website's down currently, but it'll be up soon. So, good morning, this is Craig Lane checking in, noticing our field nettles or Roman nettles, Urtica Pilufera, Pilufera. And I don't know if I'm going to pronounce that correctly, but it has a lot of the same properties as our river nettle, as I call it, or the common stinging nettles. But this is your stinging nettles, folks. And notice the sun's shining into it right here. It's look a little bit like cannabis, doesn't it? There's your seeds. You've got your seeds blowing along here, and you can really focus in on one of these seeds. You can see them in between the leaves there on the stem. So this plant is exceptionally a power green. Michael Moore, in his Medicinal Plants of the Pacific West years ago, Michael Moore is not the Michael Moore you're used to hearing about. This is the herbalist, and he talks about power greens and pond scum, which are all the algae, and I thought that was pretty funny, actually. Yeah, I'll take this over pond scum, which is chlorella, spirulina, blue-green algae. You know, it's great. Those blue-green algae are great, don't get me wrong. I thought Michael Moore's comment was, but this is your power green right here. It's fresh, it's live. When they talk about spirits and alcohol, think about it. Spirits, it was a way to capture the essence of something, and that's why I personally use alcohol a lot to tincture stuff. But any fluid medium will work. It's just that preserving alcohol is going to last longer, and you can steam it off with water, so it's highly effective. This plant, I've been making in my morning power smoothies, and that's another post that will be on my website and on Facebook. It's often I post this stuff. So you get a look at this plant, and it grows rapidly. You can see it's all over here, all that, and then all this panning over here. This is all wild in the beds here. We call them volunteers, and you notice all the seeds on some of these. A lot of seeds on that. So that's when we're gonna want to start letting it go to seed and not using it too much. Apparently there's a kidney irritant when they get too old in these field versions, so we're gonna be careful with this one coming up soon and do a big harvest and dry it. But this is a blood purifier, and this is a high in minerals, excellent for any kind of excess bleeding, menses through the gut. It'll work well with comfrey for some kind of colitis cases, it looks like. But I've been pureeing it, and the stingers go away. I've been pureeing it and then straining out the fiber, sort of what I call a strained juice. And then I add other things in with it, like fruit or whatever. So this is an excellent plant, and it's very good for arthritis. You can even flog with it. Like I could pick this, and see right now I'm touching it. So stinging, my hands are stinging right now, but I'm gonna get rid of the myth. I've been touching these for my first encounter as a child, about 12 years old. Actually, I wasn't a child, I was a young teenager, and I encountered some by the creek, and I happened to brush up against it, and the shocking pain. I had allergies at the time, and histamine, I was an overhistamine, hyperactive immune person. And this is, ironically, this is a plant that's excellent for allergies when you give the raw extract. When you dry and make tea with it from the dried nettles, it won't be nearly as effective as the raw extract, which has the formic acid still intact. And that's a whole thing to talk about, is the formic acid is also the trail. It's a main ingredient in the ant trail. And Bernard Jensen often referred to formic acid. And so there's some transformative properties in that, and some irritating qualities too, because it's an acid. But I mean, this is really high in minerals, and so topically it can be used for pain. And you can even use the strained juice for hemorrhoids, although I'd be a little more careful with that, you know, when you get stingers in there. But it is good for pain. So it's a tonic, blood builder. It's called a hypoglycemic, so it's probably going to lower blood sugar. So not for the people with hypoglycemia, but more for the diabetic patient. It's a diuretic too, and astringent, and it also helps with asthma and dandruff. So this is one of those. The fiber is also usable on this particular one, and the nettles fiber was used valuable for paper. And plants that go around it are said to increase their essential oil content, so there's a higher resistance to pests in this plant. Very useful plant. I think if you have, if anybody here in the area wants to come and get seeds later on in the year, I'll be saving a small patch to grow for seed, and the rest of it we're going to harvest real shortly here, because you can see the stems are turning right in here. That stem is turning very, see right in there, these stems here turning very red and brown, and they're getting tough. So that's where their season will be ending soon. And I hope you enjoyed my little talk with some factoids about wild field nettles. And the next one up is going to be miner's lettuce, coming up tomorrow. Thank you very much.